Okay guys, so for this video we'll be going over my system. As you can see, my system is very concise, short, and straight to the point. I did this on purpose because when we're trading, we have to make quick decisions, and for me to have a long system, it will be very confusing. So I kept it very short. So the first rule in my system is we risk 0.5% per trade idea on a funded prop account. Meaning on my funded account, I'll only risk 0.5% on one trade idea. Now, you might think, why 0.5%? Isn't that very small? Well, it's not actually 0.5%. So let me explain that. Say for example, you get a 100K account, right? 100K funded account from a prop firm. What you actually are managing is only 10K because you can only lose 10K, so you're only managing 10K. So 0.5% of 100K is 500, but we're not managing 100K, we're managing 10K. So what is 500 in 10K? 500 is 5% of 10K. So in reality, we are risking 5% per trade idea. So it's 0.5% per trade idea on the funded prop account, but if it was just my regular account, not a funded account, I would be risking 5% per trade idea. They're the same amount on my own broker. Okay, now let's go to number 2, 1 or 2 risk to reward. I made a whole video on why I use a 1 or 2 risk to reward, and so I don't think I went over this part. So when I'm in a trade and it hits my 101, actually let me show you. When I'm in a trade, this one much simpler. When I'm in a trade and say it's a 1 or 2, right? But price, I entered right here, and then price hits my 101. I immediately place my stop loss to entry. So now that is a risk-free trade. I don't take partials, nothing. I let it run to either my TP, which is a 1 to 2, or it will hit my break-even point. So that is rule number 2 of my system. And number 3 is maximum loss in a day is 1%, or basically you can only take 2 L's in a day. And the reason why is because after you take 2 L's, you start to become your brain starts to become a little fuzzy, bad psychology starts kicking in. Even if there's a nice trade setup, you'll have bad psychology from just taking 2 L's in a row. So I just end the day when I hit negative 1%. And also, just to add on about why I use negative 1%, which is basically 2 losses in a row. So after 2 L's in a row, 2 losses, I stopped trading no matter what. And the reason why is because of this day. This was last year in December. I spent a lot of time trying to build this account. This is a 200K funded account with FTMO. And I was up $16,000. And what happened was, just in one day, I was having a bad day, bad trading psychology day, and I lost the whole account. I blew 10% in one day, 5% in one day, the 10K, and I went from having a 16K profit to down to 6K. I lost 10K in one day, and I lost the whole account. And this was like my only account I had at that time, and it was a very, very bad day. And I remember this day because I was working my job as a doorman too. And this was going to be one of my biggest payout yet. But I had a bad trading psychology day. I took like 3, 4, 5 trades in a row, and I over leveraged. I had that amateur mindset. Oh, I need to make my money back. And eventually I blew my account. So that's why it's very important. And that's why I added this rule in my trading plan, that after 2 losses in a row, or after I hit negative 1%, which is 2 losses, 2 losses in one day, I stop trading no matter what, because I know that after I take 2 losses in one day, my psychology is all messed up, and I do not want to be trading when I have a bad psychology, no matter how good the setup is. So I just wanted to add that. Okay, so going back to the first rule, risk 0.5% per trade idea. Where did the number 0.5% come from? So 0.5% is not too conservative and it's also not too aggressive, because for me to blow my account, I need to lose 20 trades in a row to blow my account. And using my system of 1 or 2 and just needing a 50% accuracy to be profitable, to make money, it's very, 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 very unlikely that I will blow my account as long as I keep the same risk. As long as I follow this system right here, it's very, very unlikely. The only way I can blow my account is if I go out of my way and don't follow this system. Most people I know use 1% per trade, which is 10 trades in a row. Now that's unlikely too, but it is unlikely, but it's possible. Whereas 20 trades in a row is very unlikely. Because 10 trades in a row, it's very likely, because some traders, what happens is, so for the traders that have a good month, yeah, you'll make good profit. But what happens when the bad seasons come? Because, like I mentioned before, there are seasons in trading. There are times where for a couple of months, your accuracy is phenomenal. Then the next month, your accuracy is horrible, where you start thinking, is my strategy good? Then the next month, your accuracy is good. Then the next month is bad. And then the next month is beautiful. So there are seasons in trading, and this system will work no matter what season it is. Whereas the people who risk 1%, if they're in a bad season and they lose 6-7 trades in a row, now they're down. Now all they have is 3% left in their account. Whereas for us, we still have a lot of capital to trade, and our psychology is not messed up. We're not thinking, oh my god, I'm on the verge of losing this account. No, we're prepared. So 1 second, 10 trades in a row. If we risk 1%, that's why we should not risk 1% on our funded accounts, unless you have a very low funded account. But like I said, this is my system. I manage a big account, so I don't plan on losing my account. And I'll admit, this system is not going to make you 10-20% a month, because 10-20% a month is not even realistic. Being in this industry, I've never seen anyone make 10-20% of their account every month, month after month after month. I've seen people do 20% in their account 1 month, and then within the next couple of months, they blow it. That's why you see these traders, they have big payouts, but then what happens a couple of months later? There's no more payouts. Or there's also a statistic that came out from MFF, which said that after a big payout, most traders blow their accounts. So this system is not for you to make big gains. This system is for you to make money consistently every month. It might not be 10-20%, but what this system can get you is anywhere between 3 to 7% consistently. That's the key word, consistently. And it also prepares you, more importantly, for the bad seasons, so you don't lose your account. Because like I mentioned before, in the good seasons, the traders risking 1% or more, yeah, they have nice payouts, which they show on social media. But what happens in the bad seasons, which is inevitable for every trader, they lose or blow their account. And just to end it off, I wanted to tell a story about when I used to work as a doorman in the Upper West Side, Manhattan, New York City, a very expensive building where doctors, lawyers, CEOs, businessmen, they all used to live there. And I used to talk to a doctor. She was the director of neurology in Mount Sinai, which is which is one of the best hospitals in New York or in the whole world, Mount Sinai. And she was telling me how her motto is she expects the best, but is always prepared for the worst. And that quote stuck to me because as traders, we need to expect the best, of course, but we also, more importantly, need to be prepared for the worst. And this system prepares you for the worst. So I like to end it at that. Thank you for listening, and on to the next video. Consistently